sports. We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by BAL Tire. On a hot, humid day in the Motor City, it is time for Tigers baseball. As we welcome you to Comerica Park in downtown Detroit, we bring you today the final game in this three-game series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers baseball. Mario and Pemba. Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here for the series finale. Who would have thought last night Ian Kinsler's leadoff single in the first inning would be the Tigers' only hit of the game? But the good thing about baseball, Rod, today's a new day, a chance to win this series.
Yeah, they didn't have a long time to think about the fact that they did not get a lot of hits in last night's game, but they have to come out today. They have to win a series. It's that simple. The Kansas City Royals are not coming back to the pack, and the Baltimore Orioles are a pretty good team, so they better be ready to play.
All right, Justin Verlander's on the hill today. His last start against the Twins, really good. Maybe as good as we've seen JV in a couple of years. Hopefully more of the same today.
You know, arguably the best fastball command for sure, but what enabled him to get to his breaking ball was the fact that he was commanding that fastball with a lot of precision on the outside part of the plate. He hung a couple of breaking balls, but he got away with those breaking balls up in the strike zone because the fastball was so good. But what I was very encouraged with was he was able to spot it at about 95 on the outside part of the black. He was walking around with much more confidence. He'll need more changeups here today against the Baltimore Orioles. They have quite a few more left-handers in their lineup here today at the disposal of Buck Showalter. So Justin needs to go out and continue to build on what he did 5 days ago.
All right, after a short break, we send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Trevor Thompson. Coming up today, well, it's the rubber game of the match. The Tigers won the first game. Orioles won yesterday. We'll see who wins the series today. Tigers O's next. Back here in Comerica Park as we get you set for baseball this afternoon. The Tigers and the Orioles get together in the final game of the series. Starting lineup for the O's, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Manny Machado leading it off. He's been on base in 7 of 10 plate appearances in this series. Paredes and Jones at the top. Davis, Wieters, Hardy in the middle. Bottom 3 of Snyder, Scope, and Parley. And they will face Justin Verlander, who is presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Justin Verlander looking for his first win since September 24th of last year. And if he pitches as well as he did in his final start of the first half, he'll get that W today. 5.34 earned run average for Verlander, coming in 18 strikeouts, 11 base on balls. The opponent's hitting .265 against the right-hander.
So we are ready for baseball here this afternoon. A little bit cloudy and overcast, but it is warm, it is muggy. And the Tigers and Orioles wrapping up this 3-game series. Manny Machado leads it off. And today's first pitch is on the way. It is fouled straight back out of play, 0-1.
Manny Machado has had an outstanding 2-game series coming into the 3rd game this afternoon. The Tigers really have not been able to get him out when he's not getting hits. He's taking his walks.
And as it turned out last night, his home run would be the game-winning hit. A solo shot off David Price. Verlander's 0-1 pitch. Machado takes inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
They have pitched Machado the same exact way all 3 days, but it really hasn't worked. They've crowded him with good fastballs inside, but they haven't thrown those fastballs for strikes inside.
Here's the 1-1 coming home. Machado sends a ground ball just foul down the third base line. Machado has 3 hits in the series, but he's also walked 4 times and leads their team in base on balls. He has 39 walks now. JV ready with the 1-2 pitch to Manny Machado. And is slow and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-time All-Star Machado made the All-Star team again this year. In fact, he participated in the home run contest as well. The home run derby in Cincinnati, was eliminated in the first round.
I know we've had a lot of really good young players emerge on the scene this year in the big leagues, but don't forget, Machado's still very young. He's only 23 years old.
He'll look at a ball inside, and he's finally really healthy for a good stretch of time now.
We've talked a lot about the kid in Houston, Carlos Correa. We've talked about Chris Bryant. We've talked about a lot of really good young players, but Manny Machado still up there with the rest of them.
3-2 on Machado, starting things off here for Baltimore. And he was ready to bring the full count pitch home, but Machado stepped out. Given time by Manny Gonzalez behind the plate today, calling balls and strikes. Justin trying to build off that really good start his last time out against the Twins. And Machado fouls another one back out of play. JV in that contest, 7 2/3, 1 run. 6 strikeouts before the bullpen imploded in the 9th inning, and the Twins went on to win that game in stunning fashion. So Verlander's still in search of his first win of the 2015 campaign. Another foul back out of play. Orioles did a really good job of working the pitch count really the last 2 nights against both Price and Sanchez.
It was Manny Machado who led off the game last night against Price with a pitch with a base on balls after seeing about 8 pitches.
Sun trying to peek through the clouds here this afternoon. Now again the 3-2. And it is in the air to shallow center field. Kinsler is going back. He's going to have room. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. Cespedes, Ghost, JD Martinez in the outfield. Andrew Romine getting a start at third base. 19th start this season for Andrew. 6 at third. Iglesias, Kinsler, Cross in the infield along with Avila, the catcher.
Romine in place of Castellanos, who gets the afternoon off. Here's Jimmy Paredes batting in the 2 spot, the designated hitter here today. And Paredes looks at ball one outside.
Paredes pretty good batting average all this year, 296, but his last 8 games he's been going through it. Has not been swinging the bat all that well lately.
Now, it's been a tough month, July, for Paredes after getting off to a really good start. In the month of April, he was red hot. He'll shoot that one foul, back out of play, 1-1.
If you weren't with us on Friday, I talked about Paredes and his similarities while standing in the batter's box to the very talented second baseman of the Seattle Mariners, who will visit Comerica Park tomorrow night. Looks just like Robinson Cano as far as the setup and the swing.
Showing bunt, but Verlander missed high and away. Paredes back in the month of April hit .385. In fact, he knocked in 20 runs in his first 25 games this year. Now the 2-1 pitch. Back out of play, 2-2 on Paredes. Orioles struggling offensively in the month of July. They came up with just enough offense in last night's game to win it. Really difficult when you have a guy like David Price pitch the game that he pitched last night and come away empty. But Tillman was good in his own right, very good. Another foul. He just got a piece to stay alive.
Tillman knew going into the game last night that he had to match Price pitch for pitch if somehow he was going to put his team in a chance to win that game, and he did just that.
7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run for Price. 12 punch-outs equaled a season high, 2 shy of his career high.
Ooh, what was that?
Verlander wanted it. He was walking off the mound.
Might have fooled the home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez.
3-2 now on Paredes. Swing and a miss, and he finally goes down. 2 gone. We'll bring up Adam Jones now with 2 outs, which also brings us to our Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup, and this one belongs to JV in the career of Adam Jones. Only 182 against Verlander.
Usually Verlander throws Adam Jones a lot of sliders. He may get ahead with the fastball, but then the pitch of choice usually against Jones for Justin is not the curveball but the slider. And it's one of the reasons why Jones has had very much a difficult time against Verlander.
Jones at 286 has had a really nice series. Almost hit one out last night. A line drive off the left field wall. And he looks at a strike.
That slider right there, Adam Jones should have hit. That was a hanging slider right over the heart of the dish.
Driven deep to left field, down the line. That ball has distance, and it is gone. It's a home run for Adam Jones, a 2-out solo shot to give the Orioles a 1-0 lead.
It didn't even appear that Adam Jones barreled that up. Looked like he had sounded like he hit that one down on the label just a little bit. Verlander trying to get that fastball inside, but apparently Jones strong enough to muscle it out for his 15th homer of the year. It's a fastball that's inside, that's off the plate, that he opens up his hips on and really just gets the barrel to it, but didn't square it up the way that we've seen him square up some balls.
So Jones, who nearly hit one out last night, goes deep here today, right down the left field line. Chris Davis waves and misses 0-1.
It's already the 7th home run that Verlander has given up this year in just 30 innings.
That'll miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a Baltimore team that will hit their home runs. They are 4th in the American League. That is their 112th home run as you look at the shift on Davis. He'll take a ball inside. Two and one on Chris Davis. 2 for 9 with an RBI in the series. And now it goes 3-1, and Verlander's pitch count is up early in this game.
Verlander has gone 3 balls on 3 of the 4 hitters that he's already seen in this contest.
Now the 3-1 pitch, and it's on the outer edge. Davis thought he had a walk, not so. Now JV with the 3-2. And down goes Davis. That'll end the inning. However, they get a run of a home run by Jones. We'll go to the bottom of the first. The Orioles a 1-0 lead. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It looks like this: Kinsler, Ghost, Cespedes. Your top 3. Ghost batting second for the first time this season. Martinez, Avila in the middle. Alex catching today. Kraus back in the Tigers lineup. Iglesias and Romine is batting 9th. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of Miguel Gonzalez.
Now, Miguel Gonzalez has a fastball that will top out this afternoon at about 94 miles an hour. He also has a slider and a curveball. He also will throw quite a few split-fingered fastballs to the left-handed batters. He'll also use that splitter to the righties, but not as much as he does to the lefties.
So here is Kinsler, who started the ball game last night with a single. Tigers had runners at first and third in the first inning, and as it turned out, that would be their best chance to score a run. He now sits safely in 7 consecutive games. And the first one from Gonzalez is high, 1-0.
Last night was a perfect example of why you just don't bet on baseball. You had David Price going for the Tigers, who had lost since May, going up against Tillman, who really had not been pitching well all year, and yet Tillman came away with the victory.
Jones on the move. This ball hit to the gap, but Adam will get there. 1 gone.
You didn't bet on that game last night, did you?
No bet on baseball.
Let's take a look at the Baltimore Orioles starting defensive alignment. And you've got Davis, Jones, and Snyder in the outfield. Third to first, you've got the very talented Machado at third. Hardy, he wins Gold Gloves as well at short. Scope, Parmalee round out the infield. And Matt Wieters, who is catching here this afternoon. Sure you bet.
Here's Anthony Ghost. Nice try, though.
Layup last night, though. Well, you know what I mean?
Yep, on paper it was a layup. Ghost hits a ground ball to second, gobbled up there by Scope, who throws him out 2 away.
Anthony Ghost batting in that number 2 slot here this afternoon for the first time this season, swinging at the first pitch and grounding out to Jonathan Scope.
Brad said before the game, don't read anything into this new lineup here. He's just trying to break up his lefties. They've got a lot of them in the lineup today. And unless they go out and score 10 runs, this is probably a one-day thing.
Well, there's one lefty in that bullpen today the Tigers do not want to see. Zach Britton. Did you see that stuff he was featuring last night? I mean, kidding me?
You know, when Tillman came out of that game, I thought, well, you know what? They're getting this guy out. Maybe we can get to Britton. And then we saw his stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Cespedes, the batter.
His stuff was as impressive as Aroldis Chapman's of the Cincinnati Reds. I mean that literally. 98 with movement.
And that is saying something, because Chapman is just absolute death with his 100+ mile-an-hour fastball.
Right.
The 0-1-2 Yoenis. He looks at a ball outside. 1-1.
Well, the All-Star break wasn't good for Cespedes. He was sizzling hot. And going into the break, he had homered in 3 of the last 5 games before the All-Star break and was really hitting the ball well in Minnesota, but hitless since we've gotten back to play.
They have him shifted to the left side. He'll hit one to third where Machado is positioned. And Gonzalez has an easy 1-2-3 inning. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Dodge, enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. And by Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. Back here in downtown Detroit, Motor City, a warm afternoon today. A little bit cloudy, overcast, but the Tigers and the Orioles getting together here to wrap up this series. Traffic moving very quickly downtown, despite all the construction going on. Here's Matt Wieters to start things off. It'll be Wieters, Hardy, and Snyder facing JV, and the first one is fouled away. Home run by Adam Jones in the first, accounting for the only run of the game so far. Wieters had a tough night last night, could not pick up Price at all. He came in with good numbers against David, but Price struck him out 3 times. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Wieters is still recovering from the Tommy John surgery that he had last June. He was activated this June, so about 12 months for Wieters. Here's the 0-2. Ball high, 1-2. Couple of hits and 9 at bats in the series. He has scored a run. Verlander in the first inning threw 23 pitches. Fouled back to the screen.
Something that I've noticed Verlander doing quite a bit of these days, starting to move that fastball around at about 93, 94, elevating some, changing eye levels, which is a good pitch for him. No longer does Verlander have that 97, 98 that he used to be able to throw right by a lot of big league hitters.
Rolled foul.
And I said this in the pregame show today. Chris Tillman, perfect example of, you know, you don't have to be 95, 96, 97 to get a lot of people out at this level. You just have to move your fastball around, throw a lot of first pitch strikes, and then expand the strike zone. That formula works up here.
Boy, did it work last night. Tillman dynamite and getting the win for the Orioles.
Season high, 8 punch outs last night for Tillman as well.
2-2. Once again, Verlander thought he had a strikeout, took a step off the mound, but Manny Gonzalez thought otherwise.
Here's where, if you're Alex Avila, you just have to have a conversation with the home plate umpire, Manny Gonzalez, while you're looking at Verlander. But what you have to tell him is that he's got a pretty good curveball today. Would you do me a favor and just stay with it a little bit longer?
Little chopper hit towards short. Iglesias throws out Wieters. One away.
And I'm sure Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, would simply say to Alex, I will stay with it a little bit longer.
It's all in how you deliver the message.
For sure.
Well, here is J.J. Hardy. Hardy in the series has had a double. He's 2 out of 8. 227 this year for Hardy. And he looks at ball 1. JJ now 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there.
J.J. Hardy is a perfect example of, you don't have to be the flashiest shortstop. You don't have to have the strongest arm. You don't have to have the best range to win Gold Gloves. He simply makes every single play. He throws it accurately across the diamond.
And is lined on 1 hop to the second baseman. Kinsler goes back to the grass. Hardy is out, and there are 2 gone. A couple of ground ball outs for JV. Stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's Big Mac and 10-piece McNuggets. With 2 outs, here is Travis Snider. Snider's at 253, back in the lineup for this game. Nolan Reimold started in the outfield last night. Snider's back in there today. The former first-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays. Justin with the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Snider.
And we brought up the fact that Verlander would need that changeup today against some of the left-handed batters that Buck Showalter has in his lineup. 5 days ago, the curveball and the changeup were good pitches against Minnesota. But today, the changeup is a must.
Two and 1. Well, Justin typically has had really good success over the years against the Orioles. 9-2 career against them.
We'll see what kind of confidence he has in his fastball if Avila puts that sign down. Nope, he wants to change up.
Strike call. 2-2.
Avila put down the fastball. Verlander did not want that one and had enough confidence to bury the changeup at the bottom of the strike zone.
Snider takes low and in, and the count fills now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. JV has made 15 career starts against the Orioles, an ERA of 3.43 over the years. He's got Jonathan Scope waiting on deck. Home run by Jones in the first inning, the difference so far in this game. Fouled back. 3-2, the count stays. This is the 10th full season for Justin Verlander in the big leagues for the Tigers. Began the year on the disabled list. And still looking for that first win of this campaign. Again, the 3-2. Driven toward left field. Cespedes on the move. Leaping, and Yoenis at the very last second able to snatch it down.
Now that's some athleticism.
No runs, no hits, nobody left. It looked like it might be a double. Cespedes with a nice play. Have the lead 1-0 on the Jones home run as we go to the bottom of the second. And today's game is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving around the world on land and at ships at sea. We welcome you all. And we'll see if the Tigers can get the offense going here. They've got Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Alex Avila. Victor batting .269 now, 1-4-6 in the series. And Gonzalez goes out there after a 6-pitch first inning. And Victor taking looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. .328 of the month of July for Victor Martinez. He's knocked in 32 this year. After missing an extended period of time, the Tigers tried to nurse him through that knee injury the first part of the season, but it became apparent that he just wasn't going to be able to do it. And the best thing for him was to put him on the DL.
Turned out to be a very wise decision by Tigers management.
Here's the 1-1. Lifted toward left field, slicing. That ball is going to land foul, and just foul. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Some of the numbers that Victor Martinez had posted before he went on the disabled list, the batting average was just .216, and he was not hitting for much power. But since coming off the DL in 24 games, the batting average well over 300, hitting for extra base pop, and he's driving in runs.
Behind in the count here, 1-2. Martinez, then J.D. Martinez, and then Alex Avila. Driven but foul. He got way out in front of that one.
Usually when you see a guy jump on your cut fastball that's inside by that many inches, the next pitch of choice will be something on the outside part of the plate, whether it be a changeup or a backdoor breaking ball.
Now again, Gonzalez with the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Martinez, one gone.
Went fastball away, firm at 92, and he hit the glove of Wieters, and Victor Martinez swung right through it. You can't throw a better strike than that.
30 years of age, Miguel Gonzalez, born in Guadalajara, Mexico. Went to college in the States in California. He'll face J.D. Martinez. Mini 4-game hitting streak snapped last night for Martinez, and a swing and a miss. JD is 1 for 7 in the series against the Orioles.
You can't try to do too much against Gonzalez. He's got pretty good command, which means he knows what your weaknesses are. He's going to throw to your weaknesses, but you simply have to think about hitting the ball up the middle.
JD right now trails only Mike Trout in the home run chase in the American League. Trout with 27, JD with 26. No balls, 2 strikes. Right back up the middle. Diving, stop it. Short. That's Scope actually, and it's scooped it first for the out. It's a really good play back up the middle. They had to shift on. Jonathan Scope with a terrific play.
A couple of steps in a dive, and the Baltimore defense really missed Scope. He's an outstanding athletic player at second base. He's got an outstanding arm and has really good range. That's a really nice play.
And Parmalee dug it out at first base. We saw a couple of good plays at first base last night by Pierce, digging some balls out of the dirt. They have Davis playing right field these days. Here's Avila now with 2 outs, and they will shift against him. It's about as deep as we've seen anybody play. Scope is way out there in short right. Instead, he'll go the other way toward left center field. Jones on the move, though. Runs it down. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gonzalez. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. At 7:08, and the first 10,000 fans receive a free David Price bobblehead. For tickets, visit tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER for more information. David Price, who was so good in the ball game last night. Well, the bobblehead happening Tomorrow against the Mariners. Seattle coming to town. It'll be a 4-game series. Jonathan Scope will lead it off against Justin Verlander. JV rebounding with a 1-2-3 second. Scope batting .291, has had a really good series offensively. And he waves and misses 0-1.
That's a good pitch by Verlander. And Scope has been jumping on a lot of first pitch fastballs. So Verlander threw him a slider there at 84, and he located it in a real nice area.
JV stayed away but missed outside. Scope's had a couple of doubles in this series, 4 for 8.
That double he hit last night was a frozen rope off the gate off the 345 sign down the left field line.
Got on top of that one and fouled it back out of play, 1-2.
This is a perfect example of how important it is to throw that first pitch strike, because now if you're Verlander, you can simply expand the strike zone as he did there with the fastball up. Now you can go breaking ball off the plate, and you'll see if Scope will swing at that one, or you can simply go fastball upstairs again.
Bender, and down he goes. Got him looking.
Dirty. Oh, that's dirty. First pitch slider followed by 2 fastballs, and he comes back with a breaking ball and absolutely freezes Jonathan Scope.
Third strikeout of the game for Verlander. 1 out here in the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Chris Parmelee, playing first base, batting 9th for Baltimore. Parmelee takes ball 1. They called him up in mid-June, the 16th, from their AAA team in Norfolk, and he was doing really well down there. .312. 6 homers, 32 RBIs. Drives this one in the air deep into right center field. J.D. Martinez, Anthony Ghost, and it'll be Ghost to run it down. And with 2 gone, time for a game break. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. Meanwhile, Verlander here now has retired 6 in a row following the Jones home run. Here's Manny Machado. Manny popped up his first at bat, 0 for 1. Machado turned 23 this month, and he already has his first 20-homer season. He hit number 20 last night. And for the longest time, it was the only run of the game until the Orioles got a couple more late. And Verlander froze him there, but he takes it inside, 2-0.
His career high before connecting for number 20 last night was back in 2013, where he hit 14 home runs, but he hit 51 doubles that season.
Two and one on Machado.
You don't usually see players mature as quickly as guys like Mike Trout and Machado as far as the power numbers are concerned. Both guys weren't known as power hitters when they came to the big leagues, but both guys hitting for a lot of power now.
Well, in Machado's case, he has also had to endure 2 knee surgeries already, which has, I think for most guys, would really slow you down. But in the last 2 years, he's gone under the knife twice.
I guess it helps that he's very young, just 23 years old.
Another breaking ball. See you later.
Manny Gonzalez is staying with that breaking ball a little bit longer now.
4 strikeouts for Justin Verlander, a 1-2-3 inning. Adam Jones. It is time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan. That's Detroit Data Strong Fan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. It is a warm one today. Hope you brought your water to the ballpark if you're here.
That is a prerequisite today. Drink your fluids.
So here is Krause to lead it off. And Iglesias and Romine bottom three facing right-hander Miguel Gonzalez. First one is in there for a strike on Mark Krause, the new daddy who was away from the team for a couple of days. Back in the lineup today. Krause batting .127 this year. With the Tigers just 2 for 18. And Gonzalez breaks one in for a strike, 0-2.
Despite the overall numbers for the Tigers offense not that bad the last week or so, they are 5-6 since Miguel Cabrera has gone on the disabled list, and they've used 4 different first basemen. And not only that, but Brad's had to shuffle that lineup a couple different times. So the Miggy effect is truly something that you think about on a daily basis.
Well, you knew that would be the case. I mean, the Tigers trying to plug that hole right now. Krause has played there, Marte. They've had Avila and Romine. So they're doing their best. Krause provided some power early, and by early I mean his first at bat as a Tiger when he homered in Seattle. But he's had only 1 hit since. Now the 2-2. Slow roller toward the left side of the infield. Going to be a tough play, and not in time. Krause able to beat it out.
It's not because Manny Machado did not make a tremendous play. He's a shortstop by trade. He grew up playing shortstop, but since coming to the big leagues, he's played third base exclusively. But he comes in and makes a do-or-die play and barehands it and shows you plenty of arm strength to get the out at first base, but not before Krause was able to cross that bag. But that is a wonderful play.
Tigers have an infield single. And that is their first hit since the first batter of last night's game. .34 batters. Not only that, the Tigers had gone 1, 2, 3. What, 10 straight innings. Iglesias looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Jose batting in the 8th spot today with Romine batting 9th.
And good hit and run count here. If you're the Tigers and you want to force the issue, you got a guy that can handle the bat. Krause, not a blazer on the base pass, but he's has decent speed. But help jumpstart the offense. Gonzalez thinking along those same lines.
Miguel Gonzalez was rocked at his last start, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits, but he was pitching pretty well early in the game and retired 10 straight, and then things kind of blew up on him in the 6th inning. Gave up a homer to Bryce Harper. Iglesias looks at a strike. 1-1 the count on Jose. 1 for 6 so far in this series. Snap throw back to first. Ooh, they got it. Krause is called out at first base.
What a throw by Wieters.
Fred wants to look at it.
Wieters picked his fastball out of the dirt and fired a strike down to Parmalee, and Parmalee was able to apply the tag.
Schreiber was right there, Paul Schreiber.
Looked like he was out.
Tigers still trying to decide whether or not to challenge, and it appears they will. So they will take another look at this. Call on the field is out. Krause picked off by the catcher Wieters. had one challenge in the ball game last night, and that ground rule double that was hit by the Orioles late in the game. Here's another look. Some pretty good tag there by Parmalee.
This should give us a pretty good idea here. The left hand never gets there, and it appears that the right hand does not get there before the tag is applied to the chest of Krause, but we'll see.
They called him out. So the call on the field was out. It stands, and the bases are empty now. So just as soon as the Tigers get their first hit in forever, Krause gets picked off. Two balls, one strike on Jose Iglesias. Did not take long for that call. 53 seconds. Ground ball, right side, base hit. Jose finds a hole. 1 on, 1 out. That's when Iglesias seems to be at his best, just spraying the ball to the right side of the infield. Got his second hit of the series. There's Andrew Romine. Castellanos was 0 for 3 in the ball game last night, 0 for 6 in the series, so he sits today, and Romine takes his spot, batting .300 on the year. And it's ball 1. Couple of home runs this year for Romine. Iglesias, good speed down at first, his swipe 10. Pop up that's going to flare foul. One ball, one strike on the Tigers' third baseman. One thing about Gonzalez, he really didn't stick around too long in ball games. In fact, he's thrown 100 pitches in only 3 of his 16 starts this year. That's it. Has not gone deep into games. He'll miss low, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That'll miss inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Gonzalez needed just 15 pitches to get through the first 2 innings, but he's labored a bit more here in the third. Top of the order, waiting on deck, Kinsler. Is in there for a strike. 3-2 on Romine.
Iglesias should be on the move from first base on the next pitch here from Gonzalez.
And the runner goes. A foul ball, third base side. They'll send Iglesias back to first. The numbers on Miguel Gonzalez through 30 pitches. 20 of them are strikes. Gonzalez last year was a 10-game winner, was 10-9. The 26 starts overall. Runner goes again, and it's ball 4 low, and now the Tigers have something brewing here. single and a walk to put 2 men aboard. Hey, it's an evening of baseball tomorrow as the Tigers kick off a series against the Seattle Mariners at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Tigers M's pregame show starts at 6. Tune us in. So now here's Kinsler. Ian flying to center field back in the first inning. Tigers trying to get their first run since the 5th inning of game 1. Kinsler takes ball 1. In with the lone hit last night for the Tigers, extending his hitting streak to 7 straight. Got pretty good speed on the bases here. If he can find a gap, he can score 2. Bender's outside, 2-0. Now Wieters heads out to the mound.
They've got some pretty good arms in their outfield. Adam Jones has 6 assists already this season. Snyder in left field has 5 assists. Their outfield as a team this year has 26 assists, so they can really throw. I was talking to Dave Clark a couple of days ago, and I was asking him about Chris Davis in right field because he doesn't play the outfield that often. He said, surprisingly, he has a very good throwing arm.
He made a couple of really nice running plays last night. Here's the 2-0. Kinsler looks at a strike 2 and 1, and Ian can't believe it. Neither can the fans.
Looked like a raw deal there for Ian, but he can't let him get him down. And Gonzalez still has to throw him another pitch for a strike here.
Drilled to center field. Jones has to beat on this one. Iglesias got tagged. Both runners will move up. As Romine will take second and Iglesias takes third. 2 gone. And now Kinsler's been thrown out of the game. Ian has been tossed, and here comes Brad Ausmus to kind of get him off the field here. He was still beefing about that strike 1 pitch. Did Ian toss his bat toward him?
Apparently he did something.
So the Tigers have lost their second baseman now. He's been ejected. Now Brad going at it here with home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez. Meanwhile, they're trying to get Kinsler off the field. Here's what we have. Kinsler slams the bat. Oh, then he threw the bat toward home plate and he got tossed. So the Tigers' second baseman ejected from the game. There are 2 outs now with runners in second and third.
And more than likely Romine will go to second base and Castellanos will have to enter the game.
Now we'll see if the Tigers now can get a big 2-out hit from Anthony Gose. Single scores 2. Gose bounced out his first time up. He saw only 1 pitch in that at bat. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's Nicholas getting loose.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Gose. Runner at third, Iglesias. Romine, the runner at second. And the 1-2. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ghost. Should he reach Cespedes on deck?
If you're Ghost, even though Gonzalez has thrown you quite a few breaking balls in this pitch sequence, you can't afford to look for a breaking ball here. You have to stay ready for your fastball. If he makes a mistake with a breaking ball, you can put it in play.
That's going to fill the count now, 3-2. Tigers actually have 2 hits and a walk in this inning, but Krause was picked off at first base. Now Ghost trying to deliver on 3-2. Right back up the middle into center field. Ghost will come through. That'll score 1 run as Iglesias comes in. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Ghost will take the extra 90 feet, and we are tied at 1.
3-2 breaking ball here thrown by Gonzalez right over the heart of the plate. Really good swing and a really good at bat by Anthony Ghost. We told you that Jones in center field has a very strong throwing arm. Therefore, Dave Clark had to hold up the runner at second base, and that allowed Ghost to get to second.
Tigers had not scored in 14 innings. It'll be a single and RBI. He'll take second on the throw. So the Tigers do indeed get the big 2-out hit. Now Cespedes will stand in. It'll be the 15th RBI for Ghost.
Miguel Gonzalez just got stubborn there against Anthony Ghost. I mean, he threw him 5 straight breaking balls.
Cespedes takes strike 1. That is the 27th pitch of the inning now for Gonzalez. After really cruising through the first 2 innings. Tigers tied at 1. Oh, Cespedes just could not hold up. 0-2 on Yoenis, who is trying to snap an 0-for-14 slump.
It's a 2-seam fastball that's inside that Yoenis takes a very awkward looking swing at.
And the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cespedes. 4th in the American League this year with 42 extra base hits. A good portion of those doubles, 27 2-baggers. But it's been a slow go coming out of the All-Star break for Cespedes. Here's the 1-2. That's in the air to center field, straight at Adam Jones. And the Tigers will settle for 1 run. They leave a pair, and we go to the 4th.
out of the game, and this is exactly why. It's a 2-0 pitch at the bottom of the strike zone that was called a strike. Ian didn't appreciate it. On the next pitch, Ian Kinsler flew out to the outfield, flied out to the outfield, I should have said. He broke his bat and then threw the bat back toward Manny Gonzalez. At least that's what Manny Gonzalez thought he was doing, and he was ejected from the game.
So as a result, the Tigers now will have a couple of changes. Romine will move to second base for the Tigers, and Castellanos now is the new third baseman, batting in the leadoff slot. 1-1 is our score as Verlander goes to work here in the fourth inning. Jimmy Paredes will lead it off. 1 run, 3 hits. Detroit, 1 run, 1 hit for the Orioles. And a big swing there by Paredes.
Did it look like to you that where that bat ended up at warranted ejection?
No.
From Ian Kinsler?
Nope. I think Ian got a raw deal there. I mean, clearly was frustrated. He slammed the bat to the ground and then just fired it. I don't think there was any intent in throwing it at the umpire. And if there was, I don't know that it was close enough to him to throw him out of the game.
And the only thing that we do not know is if Ian Kinsler said something while throwing the bat down.
In any event, the Tigers without their starting second baseman for the rest of this game. The leadoff single for Paredes will bring up Adam Jones.
He homered in the very first inning. It was a fastball that was off the plate by 6 inches, and somehow Adam Jones was able to pull his hands close to his body and get enough of it to hit it into the Tigers bullpen. Actually over the Tigers bullpen. Ooh, Adam Jones likes to pick on the opposition early. 19 homers in the first inning since the beginning of the 2014 season. Some pretty good players on that list.
I was about to say, look at the names on that list. Stanton, Bautista, Trout. 44 RBIs as well for Jones. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's where Verlander made his mistake in the first inning against Jones. That's the pitch that he usually gets him out with the breaking ball, but he was simply trying to go off the plate inside for a ball to get back to the breaking ball, but Jones was sitting there waiting for that heater in the first inning. Adam Jones has also grounded in quite a few double plays this year. 13 of those to be exact.
I'll take another.
Yep.
Jones grew up in San Diego, and he's kind of an interesting story. He went on to be a #1 pick or a first-round pick, and then eventually a star in the big leagues, an all-star. But he did not even play baseball until he was 12 years old. Didn't have much interest in the game until that point. As he cuts and misses. And it was his stepdad, when he was 12, who brought him to a Padres game in San Diego. He took an interest in sport, and here he is. And what a player he is.
Baseball is one of those sports where if you start playing at age 12, you usually don't make it, right? It's one of those sports where you got to be dialed in T-ball.
0-2 on Jones. Slow roller back up the middle. Diving stop. Iglesias shovels it to second. He is safe there. Ooh, Iglesias almost with a circus play to get the force at second.
Tremendous range shown by Iglesias here. We've watched him do this quite often. The only thing that he should have done differently there is taken a little bit more time to make sure that he got at least the 1 out at second base instead of thinking about getting it to Romine so they could turn 2.
So after the Tigers tied up with a run, the Orioles coming right back now. 2 base hits, and Chris Davis will stand in. Davis a strikeout victim in the first inning against Verlander.
Adam Jones came into today's game really struggling against Justin Verlander in his career, but today 2 for 2.
Davis, for all the big numbers he has put up in his career, not very many against JV. He came in 5 for 23 against Verlander, .217 average. But he's got an opportunity here. Each team now with 3 hits. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
In these particular situations, the fastball, belt buckle or higher usually work against Davis. He's a low ball hitter with a lot of power in his bat.
When Davis was with the Rangers, the organization he broke in with, most of his power came at the AAA level. Never really showed it a whole lot at the big league level. But boy, once he got to the big leagues with the Orioles, 53 homers a couple of years ago.
He also found a manager that would give him a chance to play on a daily basis. That would be Buck Showalter.
Boy, does that help. Soft line drive into left field. That's going to drop in. Base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base. And the bases will be loaded now for the Orioles.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Davis. Verlander did not throw him one pitch inside. Therefore, he knew he was going to get something that was away. It was a changeup, and it's not a bad pitch. I mean, that is not a bad pitch. But you really have to be looking for that pitch to hit it, even make contact. You really can't even locate your changeup any better than that. Unless you bounce it, I guess.
Now Wieters with the bases loaded, nobody out, and his career numbers in these types of situations: 264. He's got a couple of slams to his credit. JV will throw from the windup. Strike one on Wieters. Four hits now for Baltimore. Paredes, Jones, and Davis on the base paths. Outside, 1-1. Orioles got a run in the first. Tigers tied it up in the third. Line drive to left field. Cespedes comes on, makes the catch. They're going to bluff. Wise choice. Throw back to third, not in time. One out.
Jose Iglesias had to come all the way from his position to get over to cut that ball off. Castellanos, excuse me, and then Iglesias has to get over to third base.
So they're still loaded with one away. There was no way Paredes was going to run on the arm of Cespedes, especially as shallow as that ball was hit. J.J. Hardy with the bases loaded. 258, 4 grand slams. And he looks at ball one. As much as the Tigers have struggled offensively in this series, the Orioles have as well. Really, in the month of July, they've struggled. Pop up foul back out of play. One ball, one strike on Hardy. Verlander trying to work out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. One gone now. Swing and a miss. Hardy couldn't hold up. 1-2. How about this? In their last 9 games, they are 4 for 59.
Tough to win when you're not getting it done with runners in scoring position. Verlander would like to see those numbers continue to go down.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Justin got him 1, 2, 3 in the third, but he was greeted by 3 hits here in the fourth. Checked it. Did he go? No, he did not. Paul Schreiber down at first base said he held up. It's going to make it full now, 3-2. What do you think?
Good call.
Yep. JV wanted to call badly there, didn't get it.
Well, you can't be afraid to throw that same pitch right here to see if you can get him to swing at it. You throw it 2-2. You can't be afraid to throw it 3-2.
Driven to right field. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. This could get 3 runs in. It's dug up by the right fielder Martinez. Here comes the throw to the plate. The slide. He is out at home plate. Davis tried to score from first, and the relay got him. Double 2 RBIs for Hardy.
Instead of going back to the breaking ball, Verlander tried to overpower Hardy, and he threw a fastball at 97 that stayed up. Hardy hit the ball down the right field line. JD Martinez got there, picked it up, got it to Romine. Romine fired an absolute strike to Avila, who was able to apply the tag to Davis, who was trying to score the 3rd run of the inning.
Double and 2 RBIs, 9-4-2 on the putout of home plate of Davis, and Hardy gets RBIs 23 and 24. That's his 8th double of the year, and the Orioles go back on top 3-1. Hardy meanwhile took 3rd on the throw home. Snyder is up there with 2 outs. Way outside, 2-0 the count. JV now is up to 70. He had a 23 pitch first inning, and now he's about to throw his 20th of the 4th. Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Jonathan Scope on deck. And he lost it, ball 4 on 4 straight. Snyder has walked to put runners at first and third. We'll bring up Scope.
Don't know for sure, but it looked like Verlander basically just pitched around Snyder to get to the right-handed batting Jonathan Scope.
And he struck out Scope back in the third. Scope now 4 out of 9 in this series. 3-1. Orioles have regained the lead. Swing and a miss.
Second time he has started Scope off with the breaking ball.
Driven to left field. That ball is a fair ball and gone. A line drive home run off the bat of Jonathan Scope.
For the second time today, Justin Verlander, knowing that he wants to get back to the breaking ball outside against Scope as he did earlier in the game against Adam Jones, throws a fastball that both guys are able to turn on, that are off the plate and hit homers with. This ball's off the plate.
Schoop hits his 6th of the year, and now it's 6-1 Orioles. There's a ball outside to the number 9 hitter, Parmalee.
And strategy did not work there. And pitching around Snyder to get to Schoop, who he'd already struck out in the game.
Second home run of the ball game now for the Orioles. They've hit 113 this year, 4th best in the American League. Parmalee looks at a strike, 1-1. So the Orioles answer the Tigers' run in the 3rd with 5 of their own here in the 4th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In there, a strike, 1-2 on Parmalee. He is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Here's the 1-2. Yank foul.
Second time through the batting order here this afternoon against the Baltimore Orioles. Justin Verlander not fooling many people. Got off to a real nice start today.
Well, he got a 1-2-3 in the 2nd, 1-2-3 in the 3rd. And retired 7 straight before the 4th inning came around, and he misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Baseball, a game of inches. Had that ball Jones hit been a couple of steps closer to Iglesias, they probably would have turned a double play, and we wouldn't be talking about this 6th spot that Verlander has given up to Baltimore in this inning. 5 in this inning, excuse me.
Here's the 2-2 instead. He steps off. Parmalee flying to center his first time up. And he pulls this one fair down the right field line. It'll rattle around the corner. Parmalee is on his way to 2nd, maybe beyond. Nope, he's going to hold with a double.
And Brad's going to have to possibly get somebody up in his bullpen here in the 4th inning.
Jeff Jones coming out, the pitching coach, and the Tigers will start to stir now in their bullpen beyond the left field wall. Lamont gets on the telephone. That is the 7th hit now allowed by Verlander in this game. In this inning alone, he's given up a couple of doubles and a 3-run homer. Six runs on 7 hits, and it's going to be who else? Alex Wilson, who pitched in last night's game.
I was talking to Wilson in the clubhouse today, and I said, "You sure needed that All-Star break." And he said, "You're absolutely right." He said, "I pitched a lot in the first half of the season," but he also said that in that final 4-game series in Minnesota, he only pitched the 3rd of an inning in those 4 days, so he basically had a week off, he said.
Well, I think Brad, based on how he used him in the first half, is probably going to lean on him again in the second half.
Well, he handled every situation that Brad threw at him. He was one of the surprising pieces out of that bullpen. He and Blaine Hardy both have done really nice work all year.
9th man to bat in the inning is Manny Machado with a man at 2nd. And he looks at ball 1. Machado is 0 for 2, pop up and a strikeout. And now 3 for 8 in the series. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Verlander now has thrown 31 in this inning. Two balls, 1 strike. Machado came in over 300 at 301. Here's the 2-1. That's a base hit to left field. See if they try and score this run. They will. Cespedes firing at home, and he is safe at home plate. An RBI single for Manny Machado scores Chris Parmalee. And it's 7-1 Baltimore. It's going to be it. Brian Osmus coming out. And Verlander will depart after giving up 6 here in the 4th inning and trailing 7-1. So Alex Wilson coming in. Wall-side windows pitching change here in Detroit. We'll be back. On the Seattle Mariners, ticket packages include a limited edition Tigers cap. If you'd like to purchase tickets, visit tigers.com/special events. EM United, Comerica Park, July 22nd. Go to tigers.com/special events for more information. Well, this one has turned a little bit lopsided. It's a 7-1 right now, and Alex Wilson will check in.
209 earned run average this season for Wilson, 4th best among players on new teams with a minimum of 40 innings pitched.
He has really done a terrific job out of the bullpen, and now they're going to lean on him again here today as Verlander is unable to get out of the 4th inning. 7-1 Baltimore. Paredes swings to the first pitch and skies it in the air, middle of the infield. Wilson, 1 pitch, 1 out, and that will end the inning. However, 6 big ones for Baltimore. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And this Wednesday, the Tigers take on the Seattle Mariners at 7:08. The first 10,000 fans receive a free Rally Time floppy hat. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Well, the Tigers have a lot of work to do now. They're down 7-1, and they will bring up Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Alex Avila, and they will face Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez allowed 1 run on the RBI hit to Ghosts in the 3rd. Tigers stranded 2 more, though. And then the Orioles responded with 6 in the top of this inning. Victor, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And it is in there for a strike, 0-1. Orioles have out-hit the Tigers today 8-3. The 0-1 almost hit it. 1 ball and 1 strike on Martinez.
Gonzalez has done quite a bit of that this afternoon, and throwing balls inside to the left-handers and the right-handed batters off the plate.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Victor.
No doubt Justin has to be disappointed about the outing here today, especially coming off of such a positive outing last Friday in Minnesota, in a place where it's tough to win. Minnesota, good offensive team there, but today just didn't happen.
Yeah, that Minnesota team is certainly on the upswing, and he did a terrific job there pitching into the 8th, allowing just 1 run with 6 punch-outs.
Minnesota with one of the best home records in all of baseball.
The 1-2 lifted in the air toward left. It'll be playable. Snyder is under it, 1 gone. Victor is 0 for 2 in the game. Well, what did you see out of JB today that led to the downfall?
Well, the one play that Iglesias almost made was a near miss there. You have to give Davis some credit. He had a really nice at bat. He got a base hit the other way, but after that, he just didn't make the pitches. Left some balls over the heart of the plate, and Baltimore started to gain some steam, some confidence.
Fouled away by J.D. Martinez.
His best fastball of the day was the one that was 97 that was whistled down the right field line by J.J. Hardy on a 3-2 pitch.
Here's the 0-1 from Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. 0-2. JD had a hit taken away his first at bat, and a diving play by Scope up the middle. They have him played to pull. 3 defenders to the left of second. And the 0-2. Way outside. Martinez would not offer. Avila waiting on deck. Here's that defense for the Orioles. 2-2 the count on JD. Tigers just have not played as well as they have in the past at home. 23-24 this year here at Comerica Park. Rolled foul. This used to be a death trap for opposing teams coming into Comerica. The Tigers routinely would win more than 50 games at home every year. But they have struggled to do so this year. They have not gained any traction.
Well, they're not walking around with that same kind of swagger that they have walked around with the last couple of years. Whether it be in the clubhouse, whether it be on the field.
There's a base hit beating the shift.
I know they're confident, I know they're good, but they're not walking around with that same kind of confidence when they showed up at the ballpark where they clearly knew they were the better team.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, the injury to Miguel Cabrera, I think it's going to have an effect in terms of just flat-out production. But what kind of an effect does it have on a clubhouse mentally when your big guy goes down?
I don't think it has much of an effect from a mental standpoint because someone has to step up. We've talked about the fact they've tried 4 different first baseman's over there since Miggy's been gone for the 12 days, but they just got to pitch a little bit better. I mean, the offense has kind of held its own. We put up some numbers earlier about some guys and getting it done in the month of July, but they just have to get, you know, more consistent starts from guys other than Sanchez and David Price.
And we thought Verlander would be on that upswing based on his last start, but the Orioles got him for 7 runs on 8 hits today. Here's the 1-0. Avila takes a strike, 1-1 on Alex. Flat out to center field in the second. And now 1 for 8 in the series. Bouncing in the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike. Tigers have only 4 hits in this game, all of them singles. The only one that produced a run was the ghost hit back in the 3rd. It came with 2 outs. Avila takes way outside, 3-1. Krause waiting on deck. Now Gonzalez ready with the 3-1. And it's pulled right to the glove and back in time. I don't know how was JD. Diving play by Parmalee. 2 gone.
This ball smoked right at Parmalee, the first baseman. He makes a tremendous play. And really good base running there by JD. Usually the base runner will take 1 or 2 steps toward the next base that he's going to, and therefore you get doubled up.
Here's Mark Krause, who had an infield single. That was against the shift in the 3rd inning. Machado made a great play on it, but couldn't throw him out. That's it for a strike. Scope is way back on the grass in short right field. Krause waits on the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The single by Krause in the 3rd broke it 0 for 11. Here's the 1-1. It's outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's some of the numbers Ryder were talking about how the Tigers have done at home.
Yeah, 50 and 31 back in 2011. Won 50 more games in 2012. 45 last year, just 23 and 24 so far this season.
2-2 on Krause. So 3 straight years of at least 50 victories at home. And that'll put you in a really good position to make the postseason, which the Tigers have actually and obviously done the last 4 years. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Krause is out of there and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. To the 5th we go. The lowest tire price period, Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. And by USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. Back here in downtown Detroit, it is 7-1. The Orioles lead. They're trying to win 2 out of 3 in this series. Alex Wilson will go back to the hill. He will face Adam Jones as we go to the top of the 5th at Comerica. On a hot, steamy day here in downtown Detroit. The big inning, the 6-run 4th for the Orioles. They lead 7-1. Jones with a homer and a single. He has scored a couple of runs. And he looks at ball 1 inside. Jones, Davis, and Wieters. These are the 3, 4, and 5 batters for Buck Showalter's team. Adam Jones up to 291 now. Here's the 1-0. Jones looks at a ball outside.
Adam Jones, real nice two-way player. He has won 4 Gold Gloves in the center field, 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. Lorenzo Cain probably going to give him a run for his money this year for the Gold Glove in center.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here's the 2-0. That's pulled right at the third baseman. Castellanos goes down. That ball is off of Nick, and Jones is holding up at first base.
An absolute missile that hit the dirt and absolutely took off on Nick. Apparently got him on the left shoulder area somewhere.
Well, I hope it's not the face.
Well, it wouldn't be the face. He wouldn't be up. It was the face, I'm thinking.
I don't know. It did.
Off the bill of the cap?
Yeah, it might have touched his hand too. Kevin Rand is out to take a look at it. Yeah, right above the eye and the cheekbone. That'll be the 3rd hit for Jones. That thing was scalded to third base. Right beneath the eye is where they're taking a look.
Looked like he clipped the fingers, then the side of the face.
Yeah, exactly. Right below the left eye. Kevin making sure right now that Castellanos can continue. I don't know how much of the momentum of that baseball was broken by the fingers, and hopefully quite a bit of it was to slow it down a bit, but it ricocheted right below the left eye. They're going to take him out. So Castellanos coming out of the ball game, and Jeffrey Marte will take over at third base. Don't forget the Tigers are without Ian Kinsler. He was ejected from the ball game earlier, so Romine had to go over to play second. Now Marte comes in to play third. So Castellanos will head back to the clubhouse area. Jeffrey Marte at third base. Leadoff man on here in the 5th inning for the Orioles. Third hit of the game for Jones. Davis will stand in, a single and a strikeout in this game. Ball 1. That is the 9th hit of the game now for the O's. Ball 2 outside to Davis. Wilson came on to replace Verlander in the 4th, and on one pitch he got Paredes to pop up. That ended the inning.
Wilson has backed himself into a bad situation here, forcing himself to throw a fastball here to Davis.
Swing and a miss.
Didn't throw him the fastball. He came with the slider, and he threw an outstanding pitch. And Davis looking for that fastball, and rightfully so, and he threw him that back foot slider.
Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1 on Chris Davis. Wieters waiting on deck. Davis 19 home runs this year. In fact, 2 of them were hit onto Utah Street, which is that street directly behind the right field wall in Baltimore.
He's got that kind of power.
J.D. Martinez robbed him in game 1 of a home run here in this series. Leaping over the wall to bring one back. The average is in the low 230s, but he does have the power and remains a threat. 53 RBIs this year. That is pulled and smothered at first by Krause, who goes to second. One relay not in time. 1 on, 1 out.
It's a nice play by Krause. He goes down to one knee. As a matter of fact, he throws the ball from one knee, lofts it over the head of Jones, and gives a nice feed to Iglesias. And by the time they got the ball back to Alex Wilson, and Chris Davis crossing the bag safely.
Here is Matt Wieters. Nothing doing for Wieters so far. He's 0 for 2. Although he hit the ball sharply his last time up to the left fielder Cespedes. Wieters played his college ball at Georgia Tech, was a 2-time All-American there. In fact, they've only had 3 guys that were 2-time All-Americans. Wieters one of them. Former Red Sox catcher Jason Varitek and Nomar Garcia-Parra. 1-1 on Wieters. Boy, did he come to the big leagues with a lot of fanfare.
He did. We were in Baltimore when they announced that he was going to come up. It's like 3 or 4 days of a party in Baltimore.
It was a celebration.
It was.
The 1-1. There's a strike. 1-2 on Wieters.
Played his high school ball in South Carolina, and he was a teammate with Justin Smoke, first baseman currently playing for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Here's Wilson's 1-2. Driven in the air, his shallow left center field. Cespedes coming on and played on one hop.
Even when they don't hit it hard, it's somehow finding a hole here this afternoon. Excuse me.
Yeah, it is that. That is a bloop single to left center. So everything falling right now for Baltimore. And the Orioles have an even 10 hits. Bring up J.J. Hardy. Hardy had a big knock in the big 4th inning, a 2-run double that hit the opposite way to right field off Verlander.
It was a 97-mile-per-hour fastball that Verlander threw him that stayed up just a little bit, allowed Hardy to hit that ball down the right field line.
J.J. 1 out of 2 today. Two on, 1 out. We're in the 5th inning. 7-1 Orioles lead. In there for a strike. 1-1. Talked about Hardy winning 3 consecutive Gold Gloves back in the 70s. Of course, the Orioles had a really good defensive shortstop, Mark Belanger, who won 6 straight Gold Gloves in the Earl Weaver era. Orioles had some good teams in the early 70s. Chopper left side of the infield. Iglesias to second one, and the relay pulled him off the bag, but they got it.
They're going to challenge that.
Out is called by Schreiber, but immediately they say, no, we got to look at this. And we'll see if the Orioles do indeed want to challenge it. It's Wayne Kirby down there at first base. Said that he came off, but apparently not. So Buck will not challenge. 7-1 our score remains. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Park. They've been out hit 10-4 in this game as well. Wilson has come out of the bullpen to help the Tigers cause here after Verlander was knocked out of the game. It looks like Wilson's day is done. So it'll be Iglesias and then Romine and then Marte as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Gonzalez 65 pitches. After 4 innings of work, he goes back to the hill here in the fifth and throws strike one to Iglesias.
And even though Gonzalez has a pretty sizable lead in this game, he's continued to use all of his pitches. A really slow breaking ball to get strike one there at 76 miles an hour thrown to Iglesias.
That is ripped fair down the left field line. It'll bang off the side wall. Iglesias on his way to second with a double. Second hit of the game now for Jose. Well, the countdown is on. The time is running out. From now until midnight tonight, get outfield box tickets for just $38 to see the Tigers play the Mariners this Monday through Thursday. Offer available exclusively at tigers.com/diamond deals. Enter the coupon code SUMMER. Tigers have a leadoff double. That'll bring up Romine. 5 Tigers hits in this game. Romine showing bunt. He walked in the third. Bruce Rondon is heating up in the Detroit bullpen. Romine shoots one foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike on Andrew. The start of the game at third base has shifted to second base after Ian Kinsler was ejected. Ian thrown out in the third inning. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball right side. The pitcher will take the throw for the out. As Gonzalez covers, that'll advance Iglesias to third, one gone. This will be the first at bat for Marte. .70 now for Miguel Gonzalez. This is Marte's first at bat. His last action was on July 11th in Minnesota. And that last road trip was 0 for 2 with an RBI. And a chance to drive in a run here. Marte at Toledo this year, 271. 13 homers, 55 driven in. He had a huge first half down at Toledo. One ball, one strike. Missed it outside, 2-1. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 2-2 on Marte, who was signed as a minor league free agent last November. The Tigers signed him. He was at Midland last year. This season was currently having his best year in the minors. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball toward third, foul. Iglesias began things with a double. He's standing at third with one out. Just missed with it. 3-2 on Marte. Ghost waiting on deck. And he walked him. Put runners at first and third. We'll bring up Anthony Ghost. Pitch count now at 77 for the right-hander Gonzalez. They mentioned that in his previous 16 starts, he's reached the 100 pitch plateau only 3 times.
And Buck Showalter's bullpen's in pretty good shape. They have not been stressed out in the first couple of games of this series. And the Baltimore Orioles, they boast one of the best bullpens in all of baseball.
Ghost had a single to drive in a run in the third. He's 1 for 2. 0-1.
Anthony Ghost has been getting a steady diet of off-speed pitches from Gonzalez. As a matter of fact, his last time up, he singled sharply up the middle on a 3-2 breaking ball.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Ghost.
Wally Joyner and David Newham, the Tigers' 2 hitting coaches, have gotten some really positive results this season out of Anthony Ghost's bat. And you can see this season the numbers much better than they were in a couple of years that he spent in the Toronto Blue Jays uniform.
Here's the 0-2. Back to the screen he goes. Cespedes waiting on deck. Tigers got a run in the 3rd inning in this game. It was their first run since the 5th inning of game 1 in the series. Ball high, 1-2. Two and two now on Ghost. Gonzalez, if he has any thoughts of getting a win in this game, if the Orioles go on to win it, he's got to get through 5. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Ghost. 2 gone now, runners whole. That'll bring up Cespedes.
It's a split-fingered fastball thrown to the left-handed Anthony Ghost. Doing a good one. Gonzalez will use that pitch more frequently to the left-handers than he does to the right-handers. But everything off speed to Anthony today.
So now Cespedes with a ground out and a fly out. And he shoots one back up the middle into center field. A base hit for Cespedes. That'll make it a 7-2 game. 2-out RBI for Yoenis. That breaks an 0 for 15 slump. We'll see if Victor Martinez can keep it rolling here. Two on and 2 outs. Victor is 0 for 2 in the game. Strikeout and a flyout. Martinez has a mighty rip, 0-1. The first place Royals today are playing in Chicago again, wrapping up that series, and they're facing Chris Sale this afternoon, but the Royals lead that one 1-0.
Kansas City Royals just find a way to get it done every night. 5 games in front of Minnesota, 9.5 games in front of the Tigers at the start of today's play. Lorenzo Cain has gotten hot again for the Kansas City Royals in the absence of Alex Gordon.
54 wins for the Royals, his second only to the Cardinals in Major League Baseball.
I was really shocked, though, at the beginning of the year where there were so many people that were sleeping on Kansas City after they got to the World Series the previous year. 7 games against the San Francisco Giants, losing in the 7th game, but I didn't think many experts gave them a chance to get back to the postseason this year.
I think a lot of people thought that might have been one of those magical rides that was difficult to duplicate. They lost Shields in the offseason. Butler. There's a ball high, 1-2.
If they go out and add them a really serious piece in that starting rotation, and maybe 2 pieces Dayton Moore, the general manager, will add, they will clearly be the team to beat this year in the American League, if they're not already the team to beat.
Hardy has joined Rondon in the Detroit bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Victor Martinez. Lifted back out of play. 1-2 the count stays. Meanwhile, the Twins lost a tough one last night as Glenn Perkins gave up the lead in the 9th inning. They came back to take a lead on Oakland, and Perkins suffered his first blown save.
Yeah, that game was not meant to win for the Minnesota Twins last night. And Perkins blew a save.
7-2 here. Tigers trying to continue to chip away. Here's the 1-2. Lifted again, back out of play by Victor. Should he reach? J.D. Martinez waits on deck.
Gonzalez takes his sweet time out there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. This is a matchup here between Gonzalez and Victor, who both like to take their time. Swing and a miss. He got Victor to chase high and out of the strike zone. Tigers settle for 1 run. They'll leave a pair, and we go to the 6th.
A bid for a double back in the second inning, and Yoenis Cespedes has been outstanding really all year in left field. Goes back and makes a really nice athletic play as that ball was taking off on Yoenis. Leaves his feet, leaps, and catches it right in the webbing of the glove.
Well, the Tigers trail this one 7-2 as we go now to the 6th inning here at Comerica Park, and a new pitcher on the mound as well for the Tigers. Wallside Windows pitching change. Here is Bruce Rondon.
And Rondon has struggled in his last couple of outings. He struggled last Friday in Minnesota. He also struggled in last night's game, giving up a couple of runs. His earned run average sits over 10. And right now, the whip approaching 2. Does have 12 strikeouts and has not walked very many in the 7 2/3 innings that he's pitched this season.
Travis Snyder leads it off to get things going here in the 6th. And ball 1 bounces in.
First pitch at 99 miles an hour thrown by Bruce.
Rondon 2/3 of an inning last night. 4 hits, a couple of runs. Gave up a pair of 2 base hits. Here's the 1-0. 98 up at the eyes. 1-1. Snyder in the ball game will walk in a line out and a run scored. Down the left field line, slicing away. There's action now in the bullpen for the Orioles. The right-hander Rowe warming up. Tapper foul behind home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Snyder acquired in a January trade with the Pirates. He was with Pittsburgh the last couple of years. Had a decent season last year for the Pirates.
Hit 13 home runs last year in Pittsburgh.
That is going to get out of play. Marte gives a look, but it's in the seats. Scope will be next. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Orioles. 2 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. Rondon ready with the 1-2. That is lined over the head of Marte to left field. Leadoff single for Snyder. Time for a game break now. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here, that is the 11th hit now for the Orioles.
Hosmer there against a very difficult left-hander in Chris Sale.
Yeah, pretty good bat there. 0-1 the count on Jonathan Scope.
Every time Scope has gone up there today, they have started him off with a breaking ball. He did homer 3-run variety back in the 4th on a fastball that appeared to be off the plate inside that he somehow got to and hit out of the ballpark against Justin.
Now he's down 0-2.
Might as well throw him another one of those benders.
Scope's home run was his 6th of the year. He hails from the Caribbean island of Curacao, which has produced the likes of Andrelton Simmons, Didi Gregorius. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Scope. First strikeout for Rondon.
3 straight breaking balls thrown to Scope, and Scope wasn't close to any of them.
Good news, by the way, on Nick Castellanos. They took x-rays. His left cheekbone was the issue, and the x-rays came back negative, so it's nothing more than a bruise. Nick had to leave the game after taking a hot shot ground ball off his face. There's ball 1 outside to Parmalee.
Here was that ground ball that was hit off the bat of Adam Jones in the 5th. Nothing like that ground ball that Miguel Cabrera took. What was it, a couple of spring trainings ago in Clearwater, Florida?
That immediately came to mind for me. That split his cheek open.
Yeah, that got Miggy flush. Not to downplay the 1-2 Castellanos, but that one seemed to graze off of him. Had that ball hit him square, he'd still be on the ground.
1 ball, 1 strike on Parmalee. Don't fly out in this game. There's a ball in the dirt as he makes Avila go down to block it. 2-1.
This Baltimore team, man, they've just kind of. I know Price had 12 strikeouts in last night's game, but they ran him out of here in the 7th inning, after the 7th inning, so he didn't pitch into the 8th like he normally does. Anibal Sanchez had a very difficult time the other day, as did Verlander today. They grind out some at-bats. They don't give away their at-bats.
JV ended up throwing 84 pitches, and he was taken out in the 4th. 2-1. 2-2.
And going up against David Price, their game plan all along was to stay close enough to try to win the game, knowing that it would be a very tall task to beat David Price, which they were able to do, although he was sensational.
An Orioles team trying to get back to the postseason. They were in postseason last year and back in 2012, but before that it had been a while. The 2-2 is lifted back out of play.
"12 strikeouts last night for the Tigers ace David Price. 10 of those were swinging. The fastball was overpowering. It got up to 96 miles an hour. He touched 96 quite often, but it was his changeup and the cutter that were really plus pitches for him and allowed him to maneuver his way through the Baltimore Orioles lineup.
Swing and a miss. Parmalee goes down. And Bruce now with a couple of strikeouts to bring up Machado.
All of a sudden, this inning, Rondon has realized that harder is not necessarily the recipe for success. Gave up a base hit to Snyder on a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, but the last 2 strikeouts have come on off-speed pitches.
Machado is single in 3 at-bats, knocked one in the 4th inning. Here's strike 1 on Machado. Sure is nice to have 99 though, and at times over 100.
It's a nice luxury to have for sure.
The 0-1. Bouncer back up the middle. That'll be an easy force at second to retire the side. Nothing doing for the Orioles. They get a hit, leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 6th. And kids, you want to earn your stripes and become a member of the Detroit Tigers Kids Club, where you get cool merchandise, ticket discounts, special experiences, and more. To sign up, get more info, visit tigers.com/kidsclub. Kids are on in force on Sundays. They usually are.
It's their day.
And little guy right there styling.
Yeah, got some ice cream.
That face paint, does that melt on a day like today?
Still looks like it's on there pretty good.
Holding its own. So J.D. Martinez will lead it off as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning in a 7-2 ball game. And the first one is in for a strike from the new pitcher. That would be Chaz Rowe.
Yeah, really good ERA for Rowe at 2.67, 30 strikeouts, 10 base on balls, pitching in his 21st game out of the Oriole bullpen.
Here's the 0-1. Chaz shares the same first name as our stage manager, Chaz Fair. 0-2 on J.D. Martinez. JD 1 for 2, singled his last at bat. Breaking ball missed inside.
You gave Chaz a new name?
His name is really Chuck. Well, we call him Chaz.
Now is Chuck short for Charles?
And Chucky, is it short? It is. It's officially Charles Fair.
So you can go Charles, you can go Chuck, you can go Chuck, and you can go Chaz.
You forgot Chucky Wucky. Down goes Martinez, one gone.
And this one has officially been driven off the road.
Couldn't have said it better myself, partner. One away here in the 6th. Here is Alex Avila.
Rowe's got a fastball that will top out at about 94 miles an hour. Most of his fastballs, however, are sinkers, and he's got nice sink on his two-seamer, but he also has a nice little breaking ball. Slider fashion, not many change-ups thrown by Mr. Rowe. You can see the movement on that two-seamer at 93. That thing was just running away from Avila.
Well, you mentioned this earlier, but the Orioles bullpen has been among the best. 3rd in the AL. Their ERA is 2.85.
And we haven't even seen their setup guy in the series, Darren O'Day. He was an all-star.
That'll drop in for a strike, 1-1.
And not many setup guys in baseball make all-star teams. It's usually starters and closers.
Yeah, good point. Although I think we're starting to see more of them in the last couple of years. Wade Davis.
And some guys that play multiple positions.
Driven toward left. That is slicing. Going to drop. Base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Avila's going to hold. It'll be a single the other way.
And they play Avila to pull. And he finally takes one of those two-seamers that's tailing away from him. Puts a pretty good swing on it. Snyder, the left fielder, was playing him to pull in left center field, therefore not able to make a play.
That'll bring up Mark Krause.
Here's where Rowe is at his best, throwing ground balls.
And missed outside, 1-0. Now on Mark Krause. Krause at infield hitting a strikeout in this game. Tigers have been out hit 11-7. We're in the 6th inning, 1 on 1 out. The 2-0 lifted back out of play. Rowe mostly in the minor leagues last year, had some time with the Yankees in the American League. He played in just 3 games. He's also been with Arizona at the major league level. A couple of cups of coffee. A native of Steubenville, Ohio. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Krause. Orioles inked him up as a minor league free agent in December. Just off the plate. Count fills now 3-2 on Krause. Gonzalez went 5, gives way to Rowe here in the 6th. Fouled away. Tigers got a run in the 3rd RBI hit by Ghost. Cespedes knocked one in the 5th. That's been it so far. Fly ball in the air to center. That'll be routine for Jones, who backs up. And Avila retreats. 2 outs. Well, let's see what's going on around the big leagues. Some news and notes. Well, the Angels are going to be real tough if Garrett Richards gets back to what he was.
Yeah, the Angels have really started playing some outstanding baseball in the West.
Carlos Beltran reinstated off the DL. And how about that ace matchup today between Greinke and Scherzer?
2 of the best in the game. Greinke started the All-Star game. Max, of course, did not pitch in the All-Star game, but he was worthy of starting himself. 7 strikeouts already for Greinke, 8 for Mad Max.
Here is Iglesias with 2 outs. He spins one up there for strike 1.
Clayton Kershaw had an outstanding start in last night's game against the Washington Nationals. I think he punched out 14.
He did. Really good start. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncer right back up the middle. He's going to find a hole. Base hit.
He's still playing hard.
It's a 3-hit game for Iglesias. Now a chance for Romine. Romine is 0 for 1 with a walk. More action in the Detroit bullpen. Ian Kroll. Romine chops one foul, 0-1. That is the 8th Tigers hit in this game. 3 of them belong to Iglesias. Tigers today 2 for 7 with men in scoring position. The Orioles, meanwhile, 4 for 6. They've gotten it done. 0-2. And the 0-2. Checked it. Don't think he went. He did not, says Chris Siegel. Seattle coming to town tomorrow. It's going to be the start of a 4-game series here at Comerica Park.
Former Tigers hitting coach, legendary Lloyd McClendon, the manager now of the Seattle Mariners.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then the Tigers go on the road for 10. And it's going to be Alfredo Simon in game 1 of that series. Shane Green game 2. Meanwhile, 2-2 on Romine. And then Rowe will step off. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Hardy scoops. He's going to have to go to first. And he's out at first base. That'll end the inning. No runs. Couple of hits. 2 men left. To the 7th we go. in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or your tablet. Another pitcher now for the Tigers as Ian Kroll will come on to throw the 7th.
Kroll's got a fastball that goes 93 to 95. He's got a really nice breaking ball when he's able to get the nice separation velocity between the fastball and the curveball. He will also throw you an occasional changeup.
So Kroll will face Jimmy Paredes to lead things off. This will be 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup for the Orioles. Paredes is 1 for 3. He was part of what has turned out to be the biggest inning in this game, the 6-run 4th inning, knocking Verlander out of the game, and the Orioles took a lead, a commanding lead. It's now 7-2 as we play in the 7th. Kroll goes to work and misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Jimmy Paredes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Paredes with a big swing. 1-1. Jones will be next, and then Chris Davis. Ian Kroll follows Bruce Rondon, who followed Alex Wilson. Here's the 2-1. Get back out of play. 2-2 on Paredes. Orioles today have hit a couple of home runs. Jones a solo shot in the first off JV, and then Scope a big 3-run shot in the 4th.
Adam Jones had a real nice day. 3 for 3, scored a couple of runs.
Full count, 3-2. Just got a piece of it staying alive. Kroll has been up and down with the Tigers this year. He had last year pitching in 45 games for the Big Pump. Just got a piece of it, and that went off the catcher Avila. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez walks out to the mound to give Avila a few extra beats. This is the 3rd stint this year for Kroll as a Tiger. And now the 3-2 again. Fouled away again. What do you got on these Orioles, Ron? Do you think they have a shot to win the East? The Yankees right now have a 3.5 game lead over Tampa. Baltimore 4 back. It seems offensively, as guys are getting healthier and healthier, this will be a pretty good offensive team.
Well, they are healthy. That's the magic word. They got their shortstop back, their second baseman, their catcher. If they can get Tillman to pitch the way that he pitched last night against the Tigers on a consistent basis and somehow get Bud Norris straightened out and possibly make a deal for another starter, they could be right in the thick of the American League East when the leaves turn brown in October. Told you Adam Jones has had a real nice day today. 3 for 3 in Menards brings you the big money encounter. Entering play today, a 182 batting average against Justin Verlander, but today 2 for 2 against Justin with a home run. The home run came on a fastball that was about 93 that was off the plate inside, and Jones somehow able to keep that ball fair just inside the foul pole. What do you think? You think Baltimore's got enough?
I do. I agree with you. I think you're going to have to pitch. I mean, the bullpen certainly is one of the better bullpens in the American League. Do they have enough in the rotation, though? And Tillman obviously is the huge question mark.
They made a shrewd move last year acquiring Andrew Miller, so they will go out and get a big piece. If it's somebody like a Cueto or if it's somebody like Scott Kazmir. Kazmir pitched very well yesterday. I wouldn't be shocked to see Oakland move him somewhere.
0-1 on Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Tigers will see some of the other teams in the East on the upcoming road trip. They've got Tampa on the next trip, Baltimore, and Boston. Boston, as you see, 7.5 back at 42 and 49. But not much space between 1 through 4. Jones hits a ground ball to third, straight at Marte. And they finally got Adam Jones. 2 gone. Bring up Chris Davis. Davis on base a couple of times, has a single, also reached on a fielder's choice. Batting .235 now. And he'll take strike 1. Looks like Davis kind of settled into right field now. He hadn't played first base since June the 24th.
He doesn't look like it's foreign to him either. He looks comfortable out there.
He has, certainly in this series. Here's the 0-1. Eleven hits today for the Orioles, 8 for the Tigers. 2-1 on Davis. Tigers have him shifted to the right side of the infield. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 on Davis. Should he reach? Wieters waiting on deck. Now Kroll with the 3-1 pitch. That's in there. 3-2 on Davis.
Well, coming into play today, the Tigers are 27-17 against the American League Central. 10 games over 500. And they are 10 games under 500 against the rest of baseball. 18-28. And as you mentioned, the next 4 series against teams out of their division. So they better step it up.
Meanwhile, ball 4 goes to Davis. He's on again.
They got Seattle. Then you mentioned the team heads off to Boston and then to Florida and then to Baltimore. So 3 teams in the East, 1 team in the American League West.
And I think it's going to be a telling road trip. I mean, that's a 10-gamer that the Tigers will embark on after this homestand, as we butt up against the trading deadline, which is coming up on the 31st.
Well, the next week or 10 days will give Dave Dombrowski a really good idea in the sense of what he needs to do to try to help this team get back to the postseason.
Pulled to left but foul. Here's a question: with the added wild card now, you've got 2 wild cards. Do you think the trading deadline at some time will be pushed back maybe to mid-August or so?
Well, it might not be a bad idea because there are so many teams that are in a situation where they just don't know whether to sell or whether to buy. So that might be something that would be good for teams in the future.
And here's the wild card right now. So you see a lot of teams still involved. Many more teams than would be prior to even the second wild card, which was instituted.
But even if you're a team right there and you don't necessarily believe that you're in it, but even though the numbers say you might be in it, you can still go out and make yourself a real nice deal, knowing that you might have that player for next year if he still has a year of eligibility.
Way high. 2-1 on Wieters.
For instance, a guy like Aroldis Chapman, if the Cincinnati Reds are in a selling mood, he's still under contract for another year. But you have to give up a lot to get him.
Johnny Cueto, of course, the big name out of Cincinnati, expected to be headed out somewhere.
A lot of people expect the Kansas City Royals to make a real nice run at him. I've even heard James Shields' name thrown out there, even though he signed a long-term contract in San Diego. San Diego might be wanting to get rid of a few of the pieces they have. Justin Upton.
I think San Diego coming into this year, a lot of people had high expectations for them, but they've not played well.
Yeah, they won the Hot Stove League.
Huh.
As did the White Sox.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out, so Wieters is out of there. The Tigers, or the Orioles rather, will get a walk but leave a man. And today USAA honors all of our
Justin Verlander looked pretty good through the first three, but then the first three reached on this particular inning all on singles, not particularly hit hard, but then the next guys that came up, they started doing a little damage. That was a double down the right field corner. Hardy drove in a couple. Then Scope played long ball. He hit a 3-run home run. Machado was the last hitter that Justin Verlander faced here today. And when you add it all up, Justin Verlander 3 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs for the second time this year given up by Justin.
Well, here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the first one is outside to Jeffrey Marte. 1 ball, no strikes. He'll be followed by Ghost and then Cespedes. Here's a strike called. 1-1 on Marte, who's had 1 at bat. He had to come on defensively in this game. When Castellanos left, he took a ground ball off his left cheek. It turned out to be nothing more than a contusion, fortunately. And the 1-1. Missed inside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Marte. Top 3 in the Tigers lineup trying to get something going here in the 7th. They're down 7-2. Here's the 2-1. Strike call. 2-2 on Marte. He was the player of the month in June over in the International League in the minor leagues. Prior to being called up, he had a huge month and really had a huge first half. And that is hooked right to the third baseman Machado. 1 away in the 7th.
Manny Machado has played every single game this year for the Baltimore Orioles, and going into spring training, they weren't even certain that he would be ready to start the regular season due to the injuries that he's had in the last couple of years.
I was reading an article on Machado recently saying, you know, it's just so nice to be healthy for once. And he's proving what he can do when he is healthy. Goes the batter. Bouncing ball to short. Flattens out for Hardy. And it's scooped out of there at first base for out number 2. Ghost now 1 for 4. That'll bring up Cespedes. More action in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Albuquerque. Tigers deep into the bullpen today because Verlander was knocked out after 3 2/3. Yoenis knocked in a run in the 5th. RBI single. Ball 1. That single by Cespedes back in the 5th, broken 0 for 15.
Yoenis Cespedes was sizzling hot going into the All-Star break. He had a monster series in Minnesota. And before the break.
Ground ball. Tried to backhand it, still does. Scope throw, though, is not going to be in time. That'll be an infield hit for Cespedes. And it brings up Victor Martinez. That'll keep the inning going. Cespedes walking a little gingerly down that first base line. Legging out that infield hit. Omar Vizquel making sure he's okay. Tiger is already short 2 players here today with the Kindler ejection and the injury to Castellanos.
And they'll watch Cespedes very closely here if he has to run at all. And Brad might get Rajay Davis up.
Line drive, base hit right field. Cespedes will go to second and stop there. So Victor with a single. Back-to-back hits now for the Tigers in the 7th. They are 1 swing of the bat away here from J.D. Martinez, making this thing interesting late. J.D. 1 for 3 with a single. And the Tigers now trying to get something going here. They now have 10 hits. And there is strike one to JD. Martinez had his 4-game hit streak snapped in the ball game last night. He's got a couple of hits in the series in 10 at bats. Strike called, and quickly 0-2 on Martinez. Seemingly was just a skosh off the plate. Here's the 0-2. High fly ball. Shallow left field. Going to be playable, and that's going to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We travel to the 8th. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Tigers on the short end of a 7-2 score as we go to the top of the 8th inning here at Comerica Park. Yoenis Cespedes is out of the game. He has been lifted for Rajai Davis, who takes over to the left. And we've got a new pitcher as well, and that would be Al Albuquerque.
Albuquerque pitching in his 39th game this year. And the one thing I noticed about Albuquerque the other day when he came in and pitched the inning, he threw a lot of fastballs, more fastballs than I've seen him throw in a long time. Usually Albuquerque about 70% with his slider.
Well, Al will face the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Orioles. It'll be J.J. Hardy to lead it off. Baltimore has not scored since putting up 6 big ones in the 4th.
And the batting average against the Albuquerque sinker this year is at 192.
Missed that one high. Hardy with a big 2-run double. He is 1 for 3 in this game. That'll bounce in. 2 balls, no strikes. So the Tigers with the bullpen working today. Wilson, Rondon, Kroll, and Albuquerque. He's gone 3-0. He walked him on 4 straight. Leadoff man on here in the 8th. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's Travis Snider. Single and a walk in this game for Snyder. And he looks at ball one. Tigers had 10 hits in this game, Ron.
I noticed that.
And only 2 runs.
They've left 9 men on base.
There you go. 2 balls, no strikes. So Albuquerque has still not thrown a strike. And he still has not done so. 3-0 on Snyder. Jonathan Scope will be next. Way outside. That's 8 straight balls now. That's going to bring Jeff Jones up. Two on, nobody out. They talk it over on the hill, trying to get Albuquerque straightened out. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Ian Kinsler ejected in the 3rd inning earlier today. Justin Verlander 3 2/3, allowing 8 hits, 7 earned runs.
Scope, he's had a big series. A 3-run home run today, 5 for 11 in the series for Jonathan.
And speaking of Scope, he is up there now with 2 on, nobody out.
He hasn't seen a first pitch fastball all afternoon long. And the only fastball that he did see, he hit out of the ballpark.
David Lowe, the pinch runner at first for Snyder. And a sarcastic cheer as Albuquerque throws a strike. Scope has 2 doubles and a 3-run homer in the series. And he shoots one to right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. They'll throw to second and very nearly get the force. But it will load the bases with nobody out.
And good thing they pinch ran for Snyder. I know Scope is happy because Snyder probably would have been thrown out at second base. Lowe can run a little bit, so he was able to get there.
So here is Parmalee. That'll be the 12th hit of the game for the Orioles. Infield coming in for the Tigers. Avila blocks it. Here's the 1-0. That's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parmalee grounds it foul down the first base line.
And when Parmalee agreed to go to the minor leagues for the Baltimore Orioles, they gave him an opt-out clause in his contract, which basically said that he had to be in the big leagues by the middle of June. And if he was not in the big leagues with Baltimore by the middle of June, he could have opted out of his contract and signed with somebody else. And he was having a terrific year in AAA, so they called him up.
Little chopper back up the middle. It's going to find a seam right back into center field. That'll score 2 runs. And Parmalee, with his 2nd hit, has made it a 9-2 game.
And the 2 base on balls by Al Albuquerque, very costly. He's done such a nice job at getting the earned run average back down to a respectable area that he does not want the thing to get back out of whack.
7-run lead now for the Orioles, 9-2.
This is the Baltimore Orioles team which was struggling offensively.
They were. Emphasis on were. They have 13 hits now today. Still nobody out. And here's Machado. Ground ball to third, behind the bag Marte. He'll fire to second one. That is going to be a double play. And not an easy one to turn either.
Nice job here by Marte. I mean, grabbing that ball in the backhand, then throwing flat-footed and throwing a strike, and I mean a strike, to Romine, and which gave Romine to get out of the way of the base runner, Parmalee, that was sliding in trying to break up two. Boy, did they need that.
Yes, they did. Now with 2 outs, Jimmy Paredes. Strike one on Paredes. Driven foul, back out of play on 2. Paredes acquired by the Orioles last July from Kansas City. Got out to a sizzling start this year. He's provided them with 39 RBIs this season. Swing and a miss. Albuquerque gets him to chase, and the inning is over. Not before the O's get 2 more. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
The Tigers have 2 runs on 10 hits. They've left 9 on base. And here's a 1-800 call. Sam, calling the game. The Boy Scouts were here on Sunday. Well, every Sunday is Kids Day here at Comerica Park, and a lot of the kids were enjoying themselves this afternoon, getting a chance to come out. Some kids getting a chance to get out in the field before the game.
Well, they're not giving up. The rally caps are out. And right now the Tigers will need a big rally as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Rally caps and the rally paws, too. Still enjoying those lemonade,
yeah.
ices, whatever.
Looks like iced lemonade.
Frozen lemonade. I'll take it. Good on a day like today.
Avila starts it off in the home half of the 8th. 9-2 now. The Orioles lead. And Brian Mattis has checked in out of the bullpen. Here's the 1-0 from the left-hander. Avila skies it in the air to center. Under it is Jones for the outs. David Lowe needs the game to play left. Here's Krause with 1 out. infield single for Krause back in the third. Pulled, foul. Looks like Neftali Feliz will come in to pitch the ninth inning for the Tigers. One ball, one strike on Krause. As a Tiger now 3 for 21. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 the count. Manis with the 0-2. Almost hit him.
And we told you a couple of days ago that Manis is a former starter, which means he still has all 4 pitches, and he will use all 4 pitches, even though pitching out of the bullpen these days. Fastball tops out at about 91. He's got the changeup. He's got the slider. He also has a curveball.
Check the count. The scoreboard here at Comerica was off. It is 2-2. That's your count. And it doesn't matter. There's strike 3. 2 away. He's going to bring up Iglesias. Well, Manis had a chance to be a pretty good starting pitcher in this league.
He had a really good changeup. That was one of the things that Baltimore was really excited about. A young pitcher coming to the big league. Fastball about 92, 93, but an exceptional changeup. But he didn't have that consistency with the breaking ball. Now finds himself pitching out of the pen.
He was a 10-game winner back in 2010 for the Orioles in 32 starts, but his ERA was north of 4. Here's the 0-1. Iglesias has a 3-hit game going so far, 2 singles and a double. Not only that, he has scored both Tigers' runs in this game. On the outer edge, 1-2. Way outside.
Looks like they're still hanging up there at the Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
they're still partying up there.
Score doesn't matter up there.
No.
What a great spot.
Yeah.
Little bouncer back up the middle. It's gonna be tough to throw him out, and it's an infield hit for Iglesias. His 4th hit of the game.
Second time this year that Iglesias has had 4 hits in a game. Well, we might as well make Jose Iglesias our Miller moment. And as always, it is brought to you by Miller Lite. We talked about the fact that he has not given up here today. He gets himself a changeup, buried down, hits it right into the dirt, right back up the middle. And by the time Scope gets there, because Scope's got a strong throwing arm, he's not going to throw Iglesias out.
Tigers have 11 hits now. Jose Iglesias 4 of them. Romine the batter. Count is 1 ball, no strikes, and that one misses outside. 2-0. Romine 0 for 2 with a walk. Lifted back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tigers, despite 11 hits today, have just 2 runs. They've stranded 9 in this contest. They had some opportunities against the starter Gonzalez, but only able to push across 2 runs. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To third base off the glove of Machado into left field. Iglesias coming to third. The throw will come back into second.
And Machado elected to back up on this ball to see if he could get the best hop. He did get a pretty good hop, but the ball just bounced over his glove.
It'll keep the inning going now for Marte. Oh for 1 with a walk for Marte. Still waiting on the ruling on that last play, whether it's a hit or an error. There's a ground ball foul. 0-2 now on Marte.
As good as Machado is down at third base, he has committed 12 errors already this season. Could possibly be 13.
Base hit. Here's a line drive to left. That'll drive in a run. An 0-2 single knocks one in. Marte gets an RBI. Iglesias comes around to score to make it 9-3.
Jose Iglesias has scored all 3 of the Tigers' runs this afternoon.
That'll bring up Anthony Gose. He'll foul it back 0-1. So each team now has 13 hits. Big difference today, the 6-run fourth for the Orioles. Looks like O'Day is starting to warm up, or has been warming up. Oh, 0-2 now on Gose. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the inning. Tigers get a run. We go to the ninth. It's now 9-3.
lost their very talented left fielder, Gold Glove and All-Star Alex Gordon, but Dyson has picked it up in the outfield along with Orlando.
Neftali Feliz coming in to pitch the ninth for the Tigers.
And combined numbers for Feliz between Texas and Detroit, combining 20 games, a 4.22 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 9 base on balls for the former Texas closer.
For the Orioles, it'll be Adam Jones to get things started.
If you're Marte, you better be ready. Everything that Jones has hit has pretty much been down in that direction today.
Jones, Davis, Waiters facing Feliz. Adam with a homer and a couple of singles. First one is in there for a strike. Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. Feliz becomes the 5th pitcher out of the bullpen for the Tigers in this game. Yep, there you go. Ground ball to third. And Marte throws it out. 1 away. Tigers have used Wilson, Rondon, Kroll, Albuquerque, now Feliz. Here's Chris Davis. 1 for 3, single and a walk for Davis. Through the heater by him.
That's exactly where you want to throw a fastball if you've got 95 in your back pocket, as Feliz does. You want to stay a little higher in the strike zone against Davis. Here comes another one. Tigers really just never in this one today.
No. Even early on, I mean, they had tied it up in the third 1-1, but then that 6-run outburst in the 4th inning for the Orioles. That's going to drop in for a base hit to center field. Single for Davis.
Let's take a look at the big boy, big play of the game. We were talking about that 4th inning where Justin gave up 6 runs. 3 of those came on one mighty swing of the bat. And from their second baseman, Jonathan Scope, his 6th home run of the season.
One of 14 hits now for the Orioles. Reinhold down, pinch running at first base for Davis. Ball 1. Nolan Reinhold. Wieters in this ball game, a single in 4 at bats. He'll pull that one on the ground to second. Looks like a double play. 4, 6, 3. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. And with a preview of today's Tigers Live, we check in with Justin White.
Hey Mario, tough day at the office so far for the home team, but coming up after the game, we'll recap it all on Tigers Live. I'll talk with Justin Verlander about what went wrong in that fourth inning, plus we'll chat with Brad Ausmus and Trevor Thompson inside the Coliseum Studios. Tigers Live immediately following this one. Mario and Rod, back to you guys for now.
All right, Justin, thank you.
Talley pitched a pretty nice inning there in the top half of the ninth inning, and Xfinity is telling us that his top fastball was 96 and went as low as 85 with a breaking pitch.
Well, the Tigers down to their final 3 outs. And the Orioles will bring in a new pitcher to try and get those outs. It'll be Darren O'Day.
O'Day was an all-star this year, and if you take a peek at the numbers, you can see why. And the ERA 1.07, the whip under 1. He doesn't walk very many. He's compiled 45 strikeouts with his sidearm delivery.
So it's going to be Rajai Davis to lead it off. 9 runs, 14 hits for the Orioles, 3 runs, 13 hits for the Tigers, but 11 men left on base as Reimold stays in the game to play right field. After pitch running for Davis. Rajai pinch hit in the ball game last night, struck out. He's batting .275. Ball 1. First at bat of the ball game for Davis in this contest. Took over for Cespedes defensively. And Rajai takes ball 2 outside. Here's the 2-0. That's in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis, then Martinez and Martinez. Fly ball right field, right at Reimold. That is the first out of the night.
And Tigers did not hit on the field today, but a lot of the Tigers kids had a lot of fun on the field before the game. This is about noon today. Tommy Hunter, one of the relievers for the Baltimore Orioles, he hung out with the little kids for about 15 minutes, and then little Victor, he caught up with one and went deep.
Check this out. Just like Daddy.
Yeah, man.
After hitting the home run. Tommy Hunter hanging out with Tigers kids today. A cool scene at the ballpark. Victor fouls it back 0-1.
I walked into the Tigers clubhouse a little earlier in the day, and some of the kids were in there playing basketball. They got a little mini net in there, and the kids were having some fun.
Martinez is 1 for 4. He has fanned a couple of times in this game. Has a single.
Yeah, it's not often that you say that Victor fans a couple of times in any game. Last year, the toughest player to strike out in the American League.
0-2.
O'Day has been awfully consistent since putting on that Baltimore uniform. He doesn't get nearly the notoriety of a guy like Wade Davis, nor should he. But he takes a back seat to very few setup men, even though he does not throw 98 miles an hour.
It's all about getting outs. And he's gotten plenty of them. Tigers, by the way, today in danger now, 2 outs away from falling under 500 for the first time this year. They would be 45 and 46 if the Orioles notch these final 2 outs.
And you have to go back a couple of years the last time the Tigers have been under 500.
There's the 0-2. Little looper into left field. That's going to drop. Base hit. A little soft serve to left for Victor, his second hit. bring up J.D. Martinez. A 2-hit day for Victor. Tiger hit total just keeps climbing. 14 of them now. In fact, 14 hits for both teams. Whistle foul back out of play. 39,000 plus in the ballpark today. 39,978 was the attendance here this afternoon. Another one back out of play. I read a stat before the game today that yesterday in the 15 ballparks around Major League Baseball, they were filled at 92% capacity. The average crowd yesterday was almost 39,000 around baseball.
Baseball's in pretty good shape.
Tigers had a big crowd here yesterday, better than 40,000. Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece to stay alive. Now O'Day again with the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. After J.D., Alex Avila waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. Martinez fouled it into the glove for strike 3. 2 gone. Now it's Avila, the last chance for the Tigers. Alex 1 for 4, singled in the 6th. It'll sail low, 1 ball, no strikes. Seattle coming to town tomorrow. Starting a 4-game series, then the Tigers are on the road for 10.
Seattle lost today 2-1. And King Felix was on mound for the Mariners today, but he was bested by CC Sabathia. That's why you don't bet on baseball. I told you that earlier.
Further proof, huh? Further proof. So the Tigers will not see King Felix because he pitched today.
And he had simply been dominant in the new Yankee Stadium in all of his starts. And of course, CC Sabathia not pitching nearly the way that he had been the last few years.
2-1 on Avila.
But that Yankee team found a way to win today. It looks like Kansas City's going to win again today, man. They're up 4-0. Tigers going to drop to 10.5 games behind the Kansas City Royals in the Central. Just does not seem right.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Avila. $11 men left on base in this game for the Tigers. One of the big differences here this afternoon, along with the 6-run fourth for the Orioles. And he lost him, ball 4. 2 on, 2 outs. That'll bring up Mark Krause. Krause had a single in the 3rd. He is 1 for 4. Popped up. Long run from Machado. He's not going to get there. Will bounce against the railing. 0-1 on Krause. Orioles will go to 1 game over 500 with 1 more out, and they'll go 46-45.
The Baltimore Orioles also came in as one of the worst road teams in the American League, tied with the Chicago White Sox, but somehow able to take 2 of 3 here in the Motor City.
They were 18-27 coming into this one on the road.
Yep. One of the poorest records in the American League.
Oh, 2 on Krause. 2 on, 2 out. Martinez a single, Avila a walk. Popped him up. Should do it. Third base side. Who wants it? It's going to be the pitcher to come over. O'Day makes the running play. And that's a fitting end to this one. No runs, a walk, a hit. 2 men left. The Orioles win 2 out of 3. 9-3 our final. Back with more from Comerica.